Video quickly went viral. Philadelphia high school student brandishing a gun during remote learning this past week. And while the details of that case are being tended to, schools are now trying to adapt to the new difficulty it exposes. How to fend off digital disruption and effectively dole out discipline. Action News investigative reporter Chad Pradelli has our story.
Day one of virtual classes in the Philadelphia School District led to at least 2 police investigations into students allegedly brandishing handguns during classroom instruction. This is a virtual classroom in the Philadelphia School District, and police say that's a West Philadelphia high school student dancing with what appears to be an assault rifle in a Dobbins High School virtual class.
We executed a search warrant at the child's house, which he was on location. We did not recover any firearms.
Philadelphia police still don't know how the student hacked into another classroom in a different school. They want to talk with the juvenile and find the apparent firearm.
We want to track him down to have a conversation with him.
You have to start saying to yourself, this is beyond just foolishness in a classroom. This was a serious, infraction.
Rob DeVidio is a professor of criminology at Drexel University and specializes in digital crimes. He says the apparent gun is a clear violation of the district's acceptable use policy for school-issued laptops.
This should be a wake-up call to school districts, if they haven't already done so, to remind parents, to remind students that this is a school-provided resource.
The school district released a statement to Action News that reads in part, whether school is held in person or digitally, the School District of Philadelphia takes very seriously any threatening or violence-related incidents. We intend to hold all persons accountable in full accordance with the Code of Student Conduct and Philadelphia law. And police say there was a similar incident involving a Bartram High School student. Investigators did confiscate a BB gun that appeared to look like an assault rifle. No charges were filed in that case, but police say they are working on a seminar to educate students that this type of behavior is unacceptable.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up, Ta-Tanisha?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? You look nice today.
Well, thank you.
We have a couple guests that's going to pop in. We have Kiana. Kiana, if you get your microphone, welcome everybody to the shop. Hey, what's going on? You look very nice with the pink.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
What's going on? Welcome everybody. Tonight's topic we have it's going to be an interesting topic because the kids are just going back to school and it's about virtual learning. So I'm eager to ask you a lot of questions about your experience and what you're experiencing now, and some of the pros and cons that you think that are going to be going on or happening within the school year. So Kiana, meet Ta-Tanisha. This is co-host of my partner in crime.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Tell her where you from. What school you teach at, the grade, tell everybody.
I am an 8th grade science teacher. I'm at Darden Middle School in Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So first question. When did school start down there?
We started on August 17th.
Oh, wow. So you've been in school for a while now.
Yeah, almost coming up on a month.
What are the things that you see or the things that you think that are going to be hard for this year? I know that you're not, you're virtual, you're completely virtual, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are going to be what are the things that you feel are going to be challenging?
I feel that classroom management is something that is going to be a bit more challenging this year with virtual learning, maintaining the learning environment, because we're individually, my students are in different environments. different backgrounds. So maintaining that learning environment, that atmosphere
Mhm.
of the classroom is a bit more difficult than it usually would be.
Mhm.
Also, I like to get to know my students.
Mhm.
I like to sit and talk with them during homeroom. I play around in the hallway, um, so that they're able to see not only that I'm their teacher, but I'm also a human. Um,
Mhm.
so I like for them to be able to see that side of me. You're not really able to get those personable experiences that we usually would being face to face.
What do you think about that? How do you two feel about that video we just played in the beginning with the kid that was flashing the gun?
First of all, I don't know. It was a high school, right?
Hold on, I got you on too.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Trying to mute. Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Trying to log off of one.
Okay, I'll take you out of this one. Perfect. Okay.
But yeah, I had to get on my laptop. Yeah, that was high school, correct?
Yeah, that was a high school. That was in actually Philly. That was a high school where they were. You had the kids that were showing off the guns.
Yeah, I think it's rather disgusting, but I also want to know where the parents are. Where was the parents at this time, knowing that they were at school? But then you would think that the parent uh might have believed that the kid would be able to have some type of self control or whatever the case may be because they were older. But that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think that being that with everything going on, it's a lot of the parents that have to work, so they are forced to leave the kids at home unattended. Um, but then as a
Right.
teacher, you got to think of especially Kiana as a teacher. How do you how do you stop that from happening? It's not even that you can't really stop it, but how do you discipline or get your class in order when you have stuff like that going on?
Um, my solution would have been first, I am very vigilant, and I pay a lot of attention on who's jumping into my classroom and the names that I see present. Um, if I don't recognize it, I we use Google Meets, so I have the authority to remove someone from my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, with the fact that we have to record our sessions, as soon as I saw something that somebody that didn't look familiar, something that looked like it was going to be a distraction, my first reaction would have been to remove that individual
Mm-hmm.
from the class. Now, I will say, unfortunately, there are other avenues. Just because I kick out a person in the class does not mean that they cannot rejoin.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a consistent thing, that would have to be something where I would have to end that class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not only from a teacher standpoint, but it's also if I were a parent sitting beside my child during their class and somebody jumps in their classroom dancing around with guns, I would be furious. I would be absolutely furious. So my my initial would have been to first remove him, and if he kept coming back, we would have had to end that class session. And of course, I would have done exactly what
Mm-hmm.
the other teacher did by reporting it and doing everything necessary to make sure that um, it didn't happen again.
But it's like how do you prevent that? It's when you think about it now, because it's just like before you used to be able to tell a kid, oh, you got to go see the principal, or you have in school suspension. But now it's not like that. So then you have those kids that do want to learn that are now not able to learn because you
Right.
have distractions. You also not only have that, but you have these kids that are hacking into other people's classrooms. I actually have a video that I wanted to play to kind of give you an example
Okay.
of what it is I'm talking about. And I'm going to play that
Right.
in a little while. Just kind of wanted to fill out and see what you all thought about. Just the biggest thing was that video. That video stood out to me a lot, and it's just like how do we correct that as not only as a teacher but as parents as well.
I would say from a teacher standpoint, um, we have to make sure that we keep our cool,
Mm-hmm.
because if somebody does something and they see that they get a reaction, others see that that they may get a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's more likely for it to happen again.
Hmm.
So I would say one, definitely keep your cool throughout circumstances such as those. As far as prevention goes, um, that one is where it gets a bit difficult and slightly frustrating
Mm-hmm.
because of the simple fact that, again, we don't have that control over our environment anymore. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and with not having that control, there's also a fact that we're limited as to what we can do as far as consequences. There is no ISS. There is no kicking somebody out of class to go
Right.
to court or something like that. Can't send them to the principal's office. There's really more so we have to make sure that we contact the parent and hope that the parent would step in and take that upper hand to cut out the distraction. And it's um I'm trying not to say I'm trying to say it the right way, but we're limited as to what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have to, and I do find myself asking parents, like, could you please become a part of our team, work with us, communicate? Um,
Calm your kid down.
yeah, in a nice way, yeah. In a nice way, yes. We need you to get little junior. We need you to get them together.
Yeah.
Um, but we cannot deny a child a public education.
Nah, you can't. I mean, I don't know, Ta-Tanisha. I've been talking a lot. I want to hear what you got to say because I could see you as a teacher. All right, well, Winston. You know, we got Winston up here. Winston, how you doing, man?
I'm out here, you know what I mean, just chilling, enjoying the conversation. Just moved down the family from North Carolina to Florida, so we just did that like yesterday. So you know what I mean, unpacking some stuff at my son's mother's house right now, and here for the conversation.
Okay.
So I'm
Ta-
looking at what Angie said. She said the crazy part about that situation is the one with the gun was a student at another school. How did he get access to the class in the first place? And That's what I'm trying to figure out. Unless one of the students gave him access.
They said he had hacked into the school's that particular classroom, and the student, he was a high school student from another school, but he was the one that was showing the gun.
Right, but how do you? I'm confused. Like, how do you?
That part I don't know.
And he didn't know any of the students.
I don't know, but I know there's a way that these students have been hacking into other classrooms.
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Google Classroom, but
Yes.
all you need is okay. So you are. So
Yes.
all you need is the code for that classroom.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the code for that classroom, you can go to the classroom. In my county on Google Classroom, there is a link that teachers can make visible and invisible. We make it visible when class starts, and we make it invisible when class is over. That link opens up the actual meeting. The link can be copied and pasted and sent to someone else.
So you can have multiple people in your class
Yes,
that aren't even a part of your class.
yes.
That's going to be an issue.
It really is.
If students are willing to share that classroom code or share that link, then it is very easy for someone that's not supposed to be in that classroom to join that classroom. Also, that link is still able to be used even after the class is over. It's kind of like your regular web page. You can copy and paste a link, and you can click on that link, and that link is going to work.
That's crazy. Tanisha said, so an example like if Braylon, which Braylon is her son, had an older sibling, he could use Braylon's Chromebook and get into his classroom? As long as he had that link? Yeah.
If he's logged into his brother's Google account,
wow.
Winston.
Google account,
yeah,
you'll have
moving a lot.
Hey, Winston, want me to bring you back in, man?
No, hold on. Like, he's doing a lot.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
I was gonna say I could bring you back in if you want. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. If y'all want to join into the show, just click on the link in my bio. And Kasha, you got your link already, so you good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
But yeah, if he doesn't switch Google accounts, then he will have access to his brother's his drive, his classrooms, contacts, documents, slides.
That's not good.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like how Angie said, I know my granddaughter uses Zoom, and I think for that reason that Angie just said, that you have to actually accept the people into the class. Like you can't.
That's with Zoom.
Right. That's with Zoom.
Okay, that's with Zoom. That's not Google Meet.
You have to accept them into the class. You can't just like open up. And it's crazy because a lot of the schools are actually in Google Classroom, which I don't think is the better option if they're just able to just jump in like that.
Nah. I actually got something for y'all. I want to play this video. It's funny, but it's not funny because this person actually hacked into a classroom. Hold on, let me know if y'all can see this. I'm gonna just play the first minute or two. But look at your top left-hand corner and you'll see the kid that actually hacked the class.
That are in an environment of going to school all the time and then throwing you online. So other than that, your grades can definitely go up this quarter. If they go down, I wouldn't worry about it.
I can't see anything.
The
Oh,
kid next to
And
the
I can
teacher.
explain that to you too. Okay,
But I don't
so if
see
you
the
have a question,
video,
unmute
guy.
yourself and
Okay.
shout away.
Yeah, Teach, this shit is Reggie, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Wait, is he
This shit is
smoking
garbage.
weed?
What do I say to the plug? Yo.
Does anybody know?
I have no idea.
hold on. This is the next one.
And who's Kobe? Andy W.
Oh my God.
Oh, you don't remember me, Teach?
I can't do.
Hold on, I'll turn my camera on. I'm sorry, hold on, I'll get my camera.
Yo, no.
I can go next if you want.
Okay,
What is wrong with these kids?
but we can't see you.
Hold on. Watch the guy that has the Kobe on.
Okay. So, I got this really sick fucking gravity bong from leavetm.com. Using code
Let's
Goblin.
get rid of you.
When you get it out of the bottle here, there's actually a hole in the bottom of the bottle, and when you pull it out, you get a lot of smoke. It's a great piece. This is another great piece.
Harassment. But what we're really trying to get to the bottom of is what motivates harassment in general.
So what do y'all think about that? Because now if people can hack into into these classrooms and do stuff like this, what do you like? This is going to affect our kids' learning.
What happened with the kid with the Kobe? Like, what happened to him?
He was the one that was doing the hacking into the classrooms, and he was the one that was smoking.
Oh, wow.
So he was the hacker.
And that was in Philly too?
I don't know where that was at. That was just
And where was that?
That was just an example. I don't know where that was.
Yeah, what I would add to that is just like, you know, as a dad of a kid who's in virtual school right now, I think the biggest issue that's kind of going on right now is the fact of, you know, the COVID thing has been around for like 6 months, right? So I think there could have been better preparation or contingencies set up on the school district part so that we're not just having all these kids go to Google Classroom, because Google Classroom is it's not a secured place. You know what I mean? It's not like a secured place that no one can get into. So in Florida, they have this thing called FLVS. It's called Florida Virtual Schools, and it's integrated into the school district with any school that's in Florida. And this has been going on for 20 years. So they have they're prepared. Like they got a 20-year head start, right? There's some sort of preparation. And then, so some school districts outside of Florida are trying to integrate the FLVS in curriculum into what they're doing. But I just think that if a lot of these other school districts that weren't necessarily virtually set up, if the second you send the kids home and we have no school, is the second you got to start thinking about the next school year and saying, all right, let's just say worst case scenario, kids don't go back to school. We have a 6 month head start to figure out how we would do online learning. And I just feel like it seems like what we have for a lot of school districts are just something like teachers set up, or not teachers, but the you know what I mean, the school system set up like right in the summertime, like I guess we're not going back to class, so let's get something set up, versus the second COVID happened and we take these kids out of school, say, all right, we got 6 months until the next school system, let's figure something out if worst case scenario these kids can't go back to school.
Yeah, but that's going to be the thing. Well, because we really don't know how long we are going to be out of school, or the kids are going to be out of school, let alone, you know, Kiana, you as a teacher, we had spoke and you said, you know, you have family members that have pre-existing conditions. So if you as a teacher goes back to school, you're taking a chance of, you know, someone in your family or yourself getting sick. So that's going to be the next biggest thing, because how many of us are really going to be so in a hurry to take this vaccine?
Right.
Agreed. And I find that um a very, what I like to call, a sticky situation,
Mm-hmm.
where making the decision is, it's like you have to do it for the majority, but when you do it for the better of the group, you still end up with people that have to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
um do I wish that COVID never came around? Absolutely. I would much rather be in the classroom without the risk.
Mm-hmm.
But not only do I not only do I live with people with pre-existing conditions, I know that I have students that take care of family members and um with health conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so, I look at it like we're protecting the ones that really can't be protected. And I guess it could be my optimism that
Mm-hmm.
um we could all just get it together. We could snap our fingers and everything be fine. But unfortunately that's not our reality. Um so again, it is, like I said, it's a very sticky, very, very sticky situation with it, because again, I know that with the people that I'm in contact with, it would literally break me if something happened to them because I had to go to work.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. I was just telling the people that are on my IG live to listen, that they could log on. I mean, Winston, what's your thoughts on that?
Um, Listen, I agree with her as well. I wish, quote unquote, it didn't happen. But I think there's a serious problem that is happening that we may not see the effects of it until 5-10 years down the road, with these lost school years. Meaning that if you think about it, COVID happened in March. March, it's September now. That's at least 4 months or 3 to 4 months of actual school. I don't think anyone can sit here and say that the education system that's set up currently is adequate. So you got to think there are kids out here that are in the school system who had an inadequate education for the last 4 months. And how long is that going to go on? So now, what happens when a kid has a year out of really having good schooling? 2 years. So that's why I'm just about.
It's a good year.
Right? That's my son right there. It's right. It's so important for one, each school system, individuals say, yo, listen, we got to act like if we go back to class, cool. And I think we will eventually get people back in classrooms. So I'm not this big, like we're never going back to school, but right now we not in school. So if you prepare for the worst, hope for the best, you at least putting these kids in position to win. But I think I don't know if it's over optimism or just like people not knowing what to do, so they don't do anything. But to see, we had a 6-month head start to this school year. You know what I mean? Like when they shut it down in March, we had 6 months to say, listen, parents, this is what we're doing. Everybody, this is what we're doing. And just to take it outside of school for a second, look at what's going on in college where they're still talking about, are we going to have a football season or not having a football season? You got games a week away from now. So it's like, I just think that there's not black and white. There's gray decisions that are being made happen like a week before, when we could have black and white decisions happening 5 months ago, where we just say, listen, we're going online in 2020 to 2021. We're going to wait for a vaccine to get out. And then when we figure that out, hopefully by 2021 to 2022, we'll have everything situated. But at least we can start prepping for a reliable school system for your kids going into the next year. But I think every parent would tell you they're frustrated by what's going on with their kids' education. I see it, and so I think, so I can say right now the school year 2020 to 2021 is a fail, right? It's a fail, and I think it's important for each parent to then look at their child and say, okay, how can I take what I am getting from the school system, but then you're going to have to add something into that mix so that your kid is getting a proper education for this season.
Okay.
I do agree that I can agree that there should have and could have been a lot more preparation for what we're going into, especially with the fact that I would say maybe I believe it was about 3 weeks, and please don't quote me, feel free to fact check me, that we received information about what we were going to do as a state about schooling.
Mm-hmm.
And then each individual district decided what they were going to do. They gave us the plan A, B, or C. We were given those options merely weeks before school started. I feel that
You think it's it's a political campaign? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to ask you, do you feel that it's in because of this election? All right, let's have everybody go back to school. I want to make it look like or seem that everything I'm not even that Donald Trump said that everything he was doing, he was right. All right, I want people can get out now. They can go. We're gonna open everything back up. Do you think and let's be real about it. Do you think it's more so political? It's a political campaign. It's for him to try to win votes.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is from my personal take. I feel that if it was about the safety of the people, there would have been way more planning. I can say that I believe that some of the politics does have to do with it, but I also believe that there are others that don't let they don't let threats of losing funding or school numbers and things like that shake them from doing what is right.
Mm-hmm.
That's that was a tough one. Do I believe there was politics? Some, yes, but again, there were also other counties that felt the need to say no, it's not safe. If you look at just the numbers of the flu and the common cold year round at a middle school or even in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
those numbers around a certain type of year, they spike, and it's ridiculous. I have caught numerous colds from children, and that's just from passing out papers and collecting things, passing a pencil that somebody just wiped their nose and they handed me a pencil, and I pick up that pencil and
Yeah.
now my eye, so I scratch my eye. And so things like that happen. So that's why I say the thing about the safety of the people definitely has to be our number one concern, regardless of everything that's going on, because people are dying. It has to get something has to change. I'm not. Am I saying risk the education of students? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying at all. I believe in education to the fullest. But I would say that because it's difficult right now, and we're not exactly accustomed to it, that doesn't mean that we have to give up just yet. We can't give up just yet. We can't give up.
I want to chime in on that. I know it's a lot of people that are in the chat. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get Ta-Tanisha back up. I see that. Let me just go back down because there's a lot of people that had commented. I know Angela said Temple shut down to go online for the rest of the semester, only 3 weeks after it started due to the quick spread on campus. It really is a risk for both teachers and students. Absolutely.
I agree.
It is a risk. Let me just keep going. See, Rhonda said some kids are going into buildings. Tani said, I don't think anyone was prepared for this in March. I think people took it all as a joke. Right. Me as a parent of a third grader, I definitely didn't think the kid would be out of schools for so long. Well, when school does open back up, I'm on the fence to send I'm on the fence. She's on the fence to send her son back. Should he go or should he not go? You know, she has lupus, which is an underlying condition. So you got to think about, like, it's crazy. I see that Cash has said to build on that, most charter schools are brave enough to actually protect students, families, and staff. Yeah. It's to me, like I said, I'm not going to go into politics, but I think that the in the society that we live in now, it's more about gain, financial gain. It's more about political gain than the actual safety of the people. I think maybe if it wasn't an election year, maybe stuff would be different. But me as having a 14-year-old daughter that is her first year in high school, you know, me and her mother were on the fence about, they had 2 days. She could go 2 days and then she'd be 3 days virtual. But all in all, is I think, just like Angela had mentioned earlier, that they're going to start letting the kids go back to school. It's almost like a test. Let's just let these kids go and see if they get sick, if their parents get sick. And if they sick, all right, then we're going to pull them out of school, just like what happened at Temple and various other different schools. So that's definitely that's a problem. It's just like, let's test this out on the lower class. Really, the lower, the middle class, and most of them are minorities.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, I am at a Title I school. Not only do I teach at a Title I school, I'm a product of a Title I school. So when we bring in the fact that they're willing to risk our lives to just try it out, it riles me up. Not even lie. Because in many ways, as minorities, we start off not even with a fair chance. And the fact that in somebody's mind it is completely okay and they can sleep at night with the idea that they're going to risk children. Let's leave race out of it. We're going to risk children. That it literally makes me sick. Like, it makes me hot, because had I been born, you know, in 2005 or 2004 rather than 94, I could be one of these children being thrown out to the wolves, like, well, hope you don't get sick. If you do, stay home. Like, that's sick.
Now I agree. I mean, just on a larger scale, man, I would just say for like anybody who has kids or like, you know, like this is the moment, man. I think like acting like it's not like is that would be doing everybody a disjustice. Like it whatever is happening, I'm not no Nostradamus or anything like that, man. But whatever is happening, it's happening, and I refuse to just sit and let it happen without being offensive on the other end. So I just think that like I'm tired of watching CNN and I'm saying data's changed and this number and people can do this and this can happen and we're going back to school. We're not going back to school. At the end of the day, man, Cats is confused. And how long are you going to keep following someone who doesn't know where they're going? You know what I mean? And so for me as adults who have kids and teachers, we have to then start talking to one another and say, yo, what are we doing? Until they get that figured out, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, man, I promise you, I'm just an individual, man. Like the second they started mailing people checks, and the second, they started mailing people checks instead people didn't have to pay their rent, I started calling up every teacher I knew, any person that does teaching or homeschooling. What do you do with homeschooling? What are you doing with your kids? How can I onboard my kids in homeschooling? Like we have to just talk to one another. The TV don't know, government don't know, the system don't know, or maybe they acting like they don't know just for a political issue. Whatever they're doing it. Cool. I'm not waiting for them to get back on one accord because they're not messing my kid's future up because they want to have a fight or win an election or whatever they're doing. And I just think as parents who have kids, like we just got to just say with one another, not on some fight this, but like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm talking to one like, Blue, what are you doing with your child? What am I doing with my son? You know what I mean? How are you feeling as a teacher? You know what I mean? What are some things that could be better on, you know what I mean? As far as, I think like teachers are getting thrown into the fire right now. Like I was listening to my son's virtual schooling today and literally they got like, my son's 9. And so you really got like a whole bunch of 9-year-olds laying in their bed, a teacher trying to teach a lesson. She only doing what she can. And the teachers are really on the front line of all of this. And I just think we got to communicate with one another more and let the system figure out whatever's going to figure out when they figure it out. But I think it's for us in this moment to really talk to each other as adults and really just get as much figured out as we can to protect our kids, man. That's really it.
Ta-Tanisha, what you got?
I don't know because I have to know. To say no. Yeah, so here in my house it's a little bit different. It's like, all right, so my baby, but then again, it's like whatever the curriculum they gave them now is pretty much where the parent is gonna be the teacher for somebody that's 5 years old, right? And here, because I was previously an educator, it would be different for her. But what about those kids whose parents are dumb as four nails? Like,
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Like, what about those children when you got put into a situation like this? Like, we live in the suburbs, right? So they're saying these kids, they don't want these kids, which is like, it goes with what you were saying, is that, okay, so they put the minority children in harm's way. But in here, they're saying, no, these children can't go to school, so we're going to homeschool all these kids. So I asked my daughter, I'm like, so they don't go to school at all? No, they saying school. You're here in these households, and you have where even something as small as pre-K or kindergarten work, somebody just don't get it. So now I just feel, and then you have where they're giving them the curriculum for them to be able to, all right, so like I saw some classes was just 1 hour. I don't know what that's about, but they were giving classes for only 1 hour. The rest of the day, the parent becomes the teacher. Now, what if your parent isn't fit to be a teacher?
You're right. I think that it's a double-edged sword. Like when it comes down to, it's hard. I never realized how hard it is to be a teacher and be parenting at the same time. Cause you see, I work from home. I got all due respect. I got a newfound respect for teachers because I work from home. And then on top of me working from home, having to help my daughter with, especially math, because she had summer school this year for math. I hated math. And I'm sitting here like, shit, we on Google like, damn, like, I don't remember doing this when I was in school.
Well, the
I'm
math
getting
wasn't
mad
the
at her.
same way when you was younger.
Yeah, I'm getting mad at her because I don't know. Look, Zoom your teacher. She's supposed to be telling you this, and I'm not supposed to be. So I got a newfound respect. I respect the teachers, but it's a difference when you actually have to be home and be a teacher. So I can only imagine a teacher being a teacher and then being a parent. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but the thing about it, like you said, and like multiple people are saying, is that we got to make a decision. Everybody doesn't have the luxury to work from home. You know, some people have to go in. Some people have to put their lives on the line. Some people, it's been, and on the news in Texas, I seen that when they the first day they evicted 200 people. Like, what do you do when that happens? As a parent, what do I go to work? I take the chance of going to work and catching the virus because I gotta feed him and feed my family, or do I just not go to work, not make no money, and take the chance of, all right, well, you know what? If we get kicked out, if we can stay, then we can stay. So it's just it's tough.
Yeah, Blue, I completely agree, and I know this conversation is talking about virtual schooling, but just like on the large, like man, yeah, we all see it, man. Like we all out here, like whatever, like everything is shifting from schooling to jobs to like everything. It's not one thing. And we dealing with a pandemic. Like there's a mental health issue to it. Like there's a shift on all levels of life that's happening all at one time. And at the end of the day, we just, there has to come a point, and I think we all have it, but now we got to start voicing it to one another. Like what we've been thinking in our heads, let's start talking. Hey man, they ain't got this figured out. So what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, yo, like on some one-on-one level, what, like, for instance, Blue, yo, all right, they ain't got this math together. Who do I know in my inner circle that knows mathematics? Mike, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to get on that level. On a financial standpoint, like yo, like if the job ain't looking right, some people got to really talk about, like, all right, man, like if you lose your job or one of us keeps our job, are we willing to share? Like, I just think we'll have the most aggressive conversation you can start having now, so that when something does happen, you've already set the precedent instead of reacting to like, oh damn, we all getting evicted at once, or we all lost our job at once, or the school system all failed at once. Let's start having these conversations as parents and adults, like, yo, just in case this don't work out, man, like what yo, bro, if something happened to me, like what are our individual plans? Because there's nothing about the system that we call America, whatever it is, the system that has anybody feel comfortable. And I just think as people, we just got to call it what it is. And like I said, I ain't trying to guess or this is this, but what I know right now is that the system ain't working. And if that ain't working, as an individual, I feel that I am adequate and have enough ability and have enough of a network to communicate with the next person and figure out a contingency plan, like I think all individuals do. And you don't have to be perfect, but I think if you should have people around you that can fill in your gaps where you're weak and use your community. And that's the biggest thing I can say right now, is that we all need to use our community until the system figures itself out.
I completely agree.
Yes, I agree. Communication among everybody, from administrators, superintendents, teachers, parents, community advisors, after school programs. Did I say students already? everybody. Communication from everybody is absolutely essential. I communicate with teachers at different schools that I haven't even met before. I just, I literally the other day I went on the Wilson County Schools website.
Mhm.
I found another middle
Nice.
school that was in my county, and I emailed the teacher like, "Hey, I need some help. What are you doing?" And we've been communicating that
Nice.
way. I'm communicating with parents. Um, I'm I wouldn't say um I would say this. I am leaning on my parents more, on my students' parents more,
Hmm.
because of the simple fact that I am not there to help your child like I would normally do.
Yeah.
So I need I would need your assistance in helping your child. Like, where do you see your child gets frustrated? I have not met your child before. You know your child way better than I do. Tell me some things about your child. What way do they learn?
Mhm.
Are they visual? Can you just tell them something? Do I need to give them the information beforehand and then reiterate it in class?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Does your child learn at a fast pace? Is it a slower pace? What do I need to do to make my teachings uh easier for your child to understand? Um I do agree with Winston that at this point we have to talk to each other. We are not getting any. I can say personally, I am not getting anywhere with the students that I can't reach. I don't have a
Yeah.
phone number. They're not responding to my emails. I I'm getting nowhere with this child, and I'm trying. The only thing I haven't done was get in my car and go to the house.
That's wild.
This would be the
I
best
don't
time
have
because
that.
you have those
I
parents
don't have.
that actually weren't in tune or weren't checking in at the schools where now you're being made, you have to do it. You have to
Mhm.
connect with the teacher. So
You
you have a bunch of parents that just didn't do that. Right now
Mhm.
is the time that you really need to do that.
you know
Right.
what
Yeah, it's time to do it because teachers, we're waiting on these phone calls. We're sending emails. We're literally at our computers from 8 to 4, and even after that, a student emails me. I get emails when I literally woke up. I was in the bathroom this morning at 6:21 a.m.
Mm.
and a student emailed me, and I had to respond right back, simply
Mm.
because I don't know what your situation is like. I don't know if you probably gonna have Wi-Fi for the next 15 minutes. So I need to
Fact.
make sure that I,
yeah,
Fact. That's
respond.
real.
yeah.
Eyes not even open yet, y'all. Like,
You, you
we're trying our best to be as on hand as possible. Like, I wish my students could pick up their phone and FaceTime me and be like, "Hey, Miss Kinsey, I need you."
but
I
we
If it
need
was
more
a perfect
more
world,
teachers like you. We need more teachers like you.
we're
That
trying.
that's one of the
And
problems. And not to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
you're fine. You're
I
fine.
I do want to say this. I needed help with my daughter this year with her math, right? So
Hmm.
I went on to this program, this platform. It was called Virtual Learning. Now I spent some money on this platform, but the thing and the reason why I'm talking about this platform is because I tell you, I spent almost $600, right? But it was a great platform. The thing about coronavirus is, and what has happened is a lot of people has been terrible. But for me, I'm going to say it has been terrible, but it has a lot of pros because it has made me be more creative and elevate to different things and do business differently. Me and Winston do business hand in hand. So
Yep.
what I'm saying is if I can go to a virtual platform that has teachers that teach in different subjects, why can't we create our own platforms and do the same for our not saying, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just all one sided against with black, but why can't we do the same thing? If you're good in science, right? And people are
Hmm.
struggling in science, Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, if you're the go-to person, you know what? And we know, I know that, I could call you up and say, I know for a fact if my daughter emails you or calls you, you'll be responding right back because you're creditable. You have that reputation of responding back. You have that reputation of being hands-on with the students. So I want to work with you. And word of mouth is the biggest advertisement. It goes further than anything. So not to get off subject, it's just I'm just saying that in this pandemic, a lot of people have evolved and have had to evolve so many different situations. I see Tanisha said she had to be more creative this year with her son.
Yeah.
It has made some people either stepped up or they just stayed stagnant. And I think for the people that step up, they're going to be the ones that's going to win.
Right.
We have to make sure that we encourage everybody to step up, because it's not easy for the parents. God knows it's not. I know it's not easy for y'all. I don't have any children, but I could only imagine if I was trying to not only learn how to do my job a different way, but also teach a child how to learn a different way than they've been learning. You say your daughter's 14. She's been learning this one way for the past, like at least 10 years?
Right.
She's been learning one way and has to completely switch it to something different. So I do agree that there should be we should take this time and like persevere, like get that community of educators. And they don't even have to be educators, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not go to school to be a teacher. Teaching was not in my radar, baby. I had never saw myself being here. But I am, and I'm thankful for it. But anybody with knowledge, any knowledge that is worth sharing that could possibly elevate someone else, I think we definitely should be making platforms where we can share this
Right.
information.
Right.
Most definitely. That would be,
Right.
man, man, man. Like
Right.
and we already know, and again, not to be just, not just to be black, 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 but look at our history, man. Like, we pretty doggone awesome. Like, there ain't nothing you can't tell us we can't do nothing.
Exactly.
So
Right.
it's possible. We have to communicate and come together as one with a common goal, which is to make sure that these kids are successful. We're not going to be here forever. This next generation we about to pass on the torch, y'all.
Yeah.
It's about to get real.
It's like everybody that's in here. It's 10 people, right? So I'm gonna use this as an example for all the 10 people that are on right now that's listening. If you don't mind, type in the chat exactly what field that you work in, and let's see how many people have different fields of work. If anybody that's on right now that's listening, type in exactly what it is that you do, and let's see exactly what people say.
Yeah. I'm gonna type in too. I'm gonna be real Jamaican because I'm gonna have a couple things, but I'm gonna type them in, Blue.
Okay. You said I'm gonna be real Jamaican.
Yeah. Hey, and that ain't racial profile. I actually am Jamaican. My mom from Kingston.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I am Jamaican for real. You know what I mean? But
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Consultant medical
assistant property manager, web designer,
assistant property manager,
retired administrator,
fashion industry.
Who else? Truck driver. Okay.
Truck driver. Education. Specifically behavioral disabilities.
And we need those.
Yes.
You got the speaker?
No.
So we have all these different things that all of us are doing that are different. It's not one person that said the same thing.
Right.
It's no reason why special needs advocated. It's no reason why that we can't be sharing knowledge with each other. Because like you said, our kids are our future, right? So with that being said, it should be no reason in the world why a kid is flashing a gun on Zoom. And it should be, if that person or that kid is doing that, it should be somebody that corrects that kid and say, listen, you know, where is this going to get you? You know what I'm saying? It's not going to always be like that, but it should be, where are our role models at in 2020 or just in our generation now? Where are the role models at for the younger generation, or are we just letting the TV be the role model?
I just saw somebody post
Can I?
just now that there was a child that actually flashed their genitals on the Zoom. I mean, on the classroom.
Who said that? That was on.
Somebody just posted it on my Facebook.
Wow.
Now listen, we all got to remember we was in high school, man. So you got to think about everything that we all saw in high school is now being done in video. Like, you know, so like, I you know what I mean? You got to think of like these kids didn't just say, "Oh, I'm in video, so now I'm gonna act normal." Like, they just doing what they were doing behind closed doors, what we saw in high school behind closed doors, and now the teachers just sitting right there and they, you know, just they're doing, you know, there's some weird stuff that happens in high school. You know what I mean? It just like I said, the format is not a great format for education. You know what I mean? One teacher, 20 students. I could be teaching a lesson, half are paying attention, half are probably on social media. You got 2 or 3 kids getting ready to distract. You know what I mean? And it's all happening under this one camera. I just think it's a horrible format for education, and I just think things like that they're gonna happen because high school, as we all know, high school, you know what I mean, a lot of learning, but there's also a lot of, you know, mischievous actions happen as well.
But then you still have those kids, like, say for instance, just like she said, that the kids are able to tap in to any classroom or whatever the case may be. What if they tap into one of those baby classrooms? Who, you know?
Exactly. That's why this is going to be a problem. I see people in the comments. This also forces children to employ a different level of maturity. Some are trying their hardest. Yeah.
I agree with that.
This should be a gap year. Leo said, well, now they get to see their behavior issues in person, and they need to regulate that all forms of belt are available for the regulation. Yeah. I got a lot of ass whoopings back in the day. My mom actually in the chat. You know, now you can't even hear the kid. They calling diapers on you.
Yeah, but
whatever it's called in your state. But hey, you can't even reprimand your kid because,
which is really sad now, because you have those situations where it might be a joke or a meme, but you have those situations where there's a parent slightly off camera ready to beat their kid ass because they're not getting something right. Right? And then off camera, they liable to just get tore all the way down. But then you have those situations. There's no, like she said, there's no reprimanding the children. There's nothing that the school can do to help or anything like that.
Can I ask you something? Did you used to beat your kids? Because you look like you was a beater.
I whooped my kids' ass. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. Yes, I did. Sat on them, whooped them. I whooped them.
Your mom.
You know this is recorded, right?
We're not about to do none of that.
Yep.
This is being recorded. You know, you can't be talking like that.
Damn.
Well,
I don't care.
Let's be real. Them ass whoopings made us the men and women that we are today. Did they not?
Spare the rod, spoil the child. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not sparing no rods. Fucking the kid up. And they all, and look at them now. 30, 28, 25, 21. Hey. Look, ain't nobody out here knocking nobody over the head, and ain't nobody killing nobody.
Hold on, is it spare the ride? Is spoil the child?
It's spare the ride, spoil the child.
So the ride is to jail.
The ride is here.
The ride. The ride.
Oh shit! Hold on, I got PTSD. I had flashbacks.
Yeah, the flashback.
She got the PTSD too. I know that joke hurt.
Hey, y'all know when I was a kid, y'all had that friend that had that mom that like she didn't care. She spanked anybody. You have to dodge a sleepover. Like, nah, B, I'm good. I can't make it to sleepover this weekend, fam. Yeah.
The rule with my people.
And don't send your kid, because the village over here is raising the children. So don't send your kid over here if you don't want your child to be chastised. I'm sending your kid back to you with a lump. Period.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh man! But once again, that goes back to the point, man, where it's like real talk, man. Like Blue, no, man, I ain't big with social media, man. Like this conversation is a quality conversation, whether it's one person here, 10 person, or 100 people. Because if one person can change from us having a solid conversation, that changed somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's important. I think it's just like, yo, man, like let's just keep talking what's really going on in our thoughts and our minds and help one another out. And if something I'm doing in my household helps your household and vice versa, we're winning. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I have no control of what the TV says. I have no control of what the Instagram algorithm shows us. I have no control over that. But I do have control of what I speak on to you and what you speak on to me. And as long as I have control of that, man, that's what I'm focusing on. Because like, man, I told my parents, like real talk, man, be honest with you, I got rid of my television in 2016. I watched almost no TV. That is for a reason. That is for a reason. You dig what I'm saying? And now this is not for me to be like, yo, don't turn the TV. Hey, that's a choice I'm making. You dig what I'm saying? Right. It's just the fact I got sick and tired of, I can have a great day, and if that TV shows me something jacked up, now my emotions all messed up.
Absolutely.
And I just got sick and tired of God giving me so many blessings in my life. And because what someone's telling me on a television that I've never seen in my life can say something, whether true or not, that emotionally has me ready to just, man, I'm messed up now. You dig what I'm saying? I just got tired of it, man. And I took it out of the crib, and I'm just focused on, yo, what are we doing? What are we talking about? How are we building community? How are we building business? What are we doing, man? How are your kids doing? Like, how are we talking to one another? And I leave that mass media to mass media. I ain't saying, like I said, I'm not no big conspiracy person. Whatever they're doing, I let them do it. I can control what I'm doing and who I'm talking to and how we building each other up. And like I said, I just love this conversation. I just see 4 adults. I see adults in the chat room. We just having a real conversation. We have fun doing it. But I think we're all learning something from just being honest right now, you know?
We learn not to take our kids to Ta-Tanisha house for sure.
You can't do it. Can't do it.
When I have somebody could go to her house, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine, girl.
Oh man.
They're gonna come back with a straight back. You don't want no.
And all I'm gonna have to say is thank you.
I think that for now that everything is virtual, is what we really have to look out for is the cyberbullying.
Yes.
And just the stuff that goes on that, you know, we were all kids. We used to get into doing stuff, but now it's more virtual. Everything is more on the phones and everything is like that. We really got to pay attention, especially for me. I don't know what it is to have a son but I can imagine as it could be as stressful as having as having a daughter. Especially, I know Winston and Ta-Tanisha, you have older kids. So for me, with my daughter, I'm transitioning into the young adolescent. Like, all right, well, she's 14 and she's starting to develop, and now, all right, who the hell are you on the phone with? Or I went to she was at her cousin's house. I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna tell you this quick. Went to her cousin's house, and it made me realize that I didn't realize that my daughter was getting older. Because going upstairs and I hear music. What the fuck is going on? And Angela tell you, hear the music playing loud. Knock on the door. They in there with the twerk music on, and the I seen damn Michael Myers twerking on the TV. So I'm like, well, what the hell going on in here? What's going? Then I look down. She got glasses on. Now my daughter's the ringleader. She's the ringleader. She got shades on, sunglasses on, and some white shorts on. Now they wasn't like high Daisy Duke shorts. They was high waisted shorts. Where the hell you get them from? Oh yeah, Dad. I went to the mall. I bought outfits, and then I'm looking down, and I'm like, well, shit. You got a new bra too? Not saying I'm looking at, but what the fuck is going on over here? So I say that to say that we got to really pay attention to our kids, because I'm one of them parents. I'm gonna be one of them, and my brother will be right there with me. She ain't gonna be able to have no boyfriend till she probably in her 30s, but it's all in. We want to protect our kids at the end of the day. But I couldn't believe that. What the hell going on? And then what the hell are y'all watching? Michael Myers, the man up there with the Michael Myers mask on, twerking.
You talking about Halloween? Michael Myers was twerking.
Halloween, Michael Myers. They ain't even October.
He said it ain't even October.
He was Trump twerking. Trump twerking. What the hell is going on in here? You know what I'm saying? That's what I asked him. What the hell going on up here? But on back to the topic is in this, the discussion for tonight is like, what can we do as a community? Even if it's 8 people still on the show on the live, what can we do as a community to make things better for our kids? We can't speak about everybody else, but at least what we have right now, what could be a positive that we could leave off with on this note, because it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of challenges. It's a lot of challenges that we're dealing with right now in today's society. So what is something that, or what do you all recommend that could be a positive? Cyberbullying is a good topic. That's big. Africa said.
I agree with Africa also. I would say that
It does take a village.
We have to reevaluate. We have to reevaluate ourselves as adults, because of the simple fact that we got to look at who the children we're around, who they're following. We have to lead by example. We have to show them that education is important. Now, I'm gonna say this. I might get some people that disagree with me, but just listen. I am 100% for education. I can't dribble a ball. I don't have any athletic ability. I sound good only in the shower when I'm singing. I really, I can't do hair. I barely did my eyebrows right. So, education is my way out of the west side of Greenville, where I'm from. education is my way out. So we have to show our kids and actually have these conversations with them, show them that education can get them far. Let them have conversations with other people, that are in, that are in different types that we do, that are in higher places than even what we are. Show them that there can be people just like them. It doesn't matter if you came from a mansion, a trailer park, or if you did not have a home. It is still possible for you to make something out of yourself. We have to have these types of conversations with our children and explain to them that sports is not the only way. And I'm gonna be honest with you, college is not for everybody. There
Right.
are other ways, but we have to make sure that we expose our children to things. Make sure we show them that there are different avenues and show them that they can make something out of themselves. Give them the opportunity to explore. And make sure that as we give them these opportunities to explore and as we expose them as adults, not only as parents, as adults, we have to pull out those things in the children that we see are just remarkable. What one student is remarkable at, it may not be the same for little Johnny. Little Johnny might be remarkable at something else. But
Yeah.
we can't down little Johnny because he's not remarkable at something that Maria is.
Yeah.
We have to pull out those highlights and those remarkable things about our students and show them that, hey, you can find a way to not only have a job, but start a corporation where you just sit back on your tail and make them, and the money makes itself.
Preach,
We
preach.
have to
Yeah.
we got we gotta talk. We have, again, that communication.
Yeah. No, listen, I love all that. And that's facts. And I think organizing is important. And I think if I had to say like one thing I can suggest that I wish that would happen systematically, I do think there should be a teacher assistant in every classroom right now that can just, when a kid has a question, that teacher assistant can then go to that kid who's maybe not with the class or that's falling behind, take them aside, maybe an offline chat or like a side, get them situated so it doesn't interrupt the teacher, and that they can get that individual assistance as well. And I just think that, like, even that one tweak would make a huge difference, because from just watching my son in his class, a teacher may have a lesson. If one kid got a question, and then, how do I figure that out? And it's like, well, go into this link and then find this, and then go here to this video. Next kid has a question, and then before you know it, that like the teacher hasn't even gotten through her full lesson, the class is almost done. And so I just think like if I had to give like a very black and white answer, I just think one teacher assistant in every class would help a lot. And then going back to what we've been saying the whole conversation, man, is just like, let's keep communicating with one another, man. I feel like 2020 is that person that's robbing your house and you go up into the third floor with your kids and then they get on the second floor. And then you have to make a decision. Either I'm going to stay on the third floor and wait for that robber to come get me, or I'm coming down to the second floor and meet you where you at. And I just think there's a thing in 2020 where you have to say, like, as a man, like, I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of being confused, damn it. I'm an adult. God is bigger than anything that you got for me. I'm coming at you. Period. Like there has to be a time where we just get all that energy that's up in us. I'm tired of Trump versus Biden. I don't care. One of y'all get it. Cool. I'm coming at you. You know what I'm saying? 2020, I'm coming at you. What are we doing? You're not destroying all that I worked for because I'm going to sit up here, crawl into a ball, and wait for you to defeat me. And so I think like I said, I think there's some systematic things that we can call for. But then I think the most important thing, I think as each person individually, let's talk, let's get energized, and start communicating. I think through that energy and that communication, I think we'll solve a lot of the problems that we're facing, and then we'll figure out the rest, as we go. But yeah. appreciate the hand clap. No talk.
Ta-Tanisha. Go ahead, you go.
I just feel like as parents, I think that we need to educate ourselves, so that we can educate them. And I just see that a whole lot where we don't understand what it is that the children are learning or what it is that they're going through. I think that we need to have, like he said, a bunch of conversations with them, like no matter what it is, like just hit on everything and don't be ashamed, for them not to be ashamed to be able to make mention of what it is that's going on. Like, oh wait a minute, my laptop falling. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. But I think that we should. I thought about that the entire time that we talked. Those experiences where I'm seeing the people that really don't know how to have these children in their homes, and just work with them. Some people are just they're aggravated because they want them out of the homes and they can't really help them. And then those that don't have the jobs, these are the things that I see all the time, which is why I keep mentioning them, is that they don't have much going on, but they don't want to be there with the children, or those parents that go to bed and stay in bed, meanwhile trying to learn virtually and things like that. Even when this thing first started, you had those people that weren't getting the homework done, like the lady downstairs from me. He was supposed to well, he actually did graduate this year, but the police came over here because he wasn't logging in to his learning sites. So it was like, okay, they really pulled up to the house, like, where's Anthony? And then go out there like, okay, so why aren't you logging in? And he says, I am, but you don't have no register of you just actually logging in. So you need for somebody, and she's never there. And just because they're 17, 18 years old, you feel like, oh, they should be all right. She wasn't there. Now, her son ultimately ended up doing all of his stuff, but this kid wasn't doing anything. His mom is not in that house. So now he's just doing whatever. So
do you agree with that?
Huh?
Do you agree with that, with the police showing up?
I mean, yeah, because it was like a truancy officer.
Okay, so it wasn't like a regular police officer.
Well, police officers in their school are truancy officers.
I was just about to say,
because that could be intimidating, especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah, but this is like early on. But the thing is, if you're not, look, this for me, like, and that's the thing. Like, people think, like, when you say it takes a village, I feel like they're a part of the village.
They are, but that's a sticky situation with.
Can I add something?
That's sticky. That's sticky.
It is a sticky situation, but what if we sent out the school resource officer, which is an actual officer?
It's an actual officer.
Mine at my school is a sheriff. She is very familiar not only with the students, but with the community, with the families. So I don't agree with a random officer that's working at the moment.
No, yeah, because that officer might be having a bad day. Why I gotta go do this?
No, but these are officers that are actually they're in the school. They have a section in the school.
Are familiar with that officer.
Very familiar with these children. So when they pulled up at the house, the kids knew what it was for.
Okay.
So like I said, they're still a part of the village. Like you still need to make sure, mind you, this is the end of the year when this whole pandemic thing happened. So now you want to make sure that, don't think because this has happened that you got time to get laxed. Yeah. Like, you need to still keep going. If it takes me pulling up to your house to push you, then I'm gonna do just that. Yeah. But it is sad that it has to be somebody from the outside because the parent's not that involved. But however way it's going to get done is going to get done. And we definitely need to stick with that whole village raising the child, because right now, like you said, you can't just go in somebody's house and scream on somebody's kid, or you can't go and chastise somebody's child because something else is going to happen. But back in the day, that was never an issue. And this is why people like your neighbors are just turning a blind eye, because you can't really say anything to anybody. You can't say nothing to them. You can't talk to them. You can't do anything. And then the kid will come out and be like, "Oh, well, you not my mother. You not my father," type of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just feel like we need to educate ourselves more, or even just be more involved with the entire situation with this learning.
And
like,
I think
if it's 30, 45 minutes of your day to get in tune with what's going on with your child.
Yeah.
And I think from a teacher standpoint, and I think what is scary is that for a fact there are going to be kids that are going to be left behind. Like, no matter what we do, there are going to be some kids in this situation that are going to be left behind. But on the same token, there are going to be some kids who jump to levels we can't even imagine, because they like, everybody got a plan till they get punched, and these kids are learning how to take a punch real early. And the kids who come back from that, I think they're going to be amazing, man. I just think they're going to be so amazing. And I'll even tell you a story about Blue's daughter. I think she called me I was talking to a client that I did a website with, and she's like, "Someone wants to talk to you." I didn't even know this was Blue's daughter. And it's like, "Hey, Winston, what's going on?" She's like, "Yo, I need a site." Right? She's 14. She's like, "I need a site." She's like, "I got some lipstick thing up." So she's doing the business thing with me at 14, right? So now I hit her with, like, what your grades look like, right? And then, based on what grades she get, I'm gonna hit her with a discount for the site. But it's just like kids like Blue's daughter is gonna be okay, because like she understanding, like, what can I do outside of the system to keep my mental going? And so just even that idea of, like, yo, I want to get a business going right now. I ain't just gonna sit here and watch Michael Myers twerk, right? I want to sell some lip gloss. You know what I mean? I want to get something off too. And I just think kids like that are gonna really, really run in the next generation. And I'm excited to see what happens, a couple years after, all of this. But like I said, from a teacher standpoint, it is scary, because you do see kids that, like, this is not working for them. Their household is set up for this to work.
Right.
Everything, this is not work for them. And I do think it is up to us who have the ability to kind of pivot. If you do see a kid that it's not working for them, for us to be as just try to grab that kid and say, "Yo, how can we help?" You know what I mean? If you see a kid who their parents can't work, or like can't stay home with them, like, let's start having those conversations with those parents and say, "Yo, how can we help?" You know what I mean? Because I think if we do that, because one thing we do know is that, like, the community that's going to be most affected in all of this is our community. You dig what I'm saying? Right? We all know that. It's us. The same thing when COVID happened, 70% of the people that get COVID are African American. How that happens, we'll say that for another conversation, right? But the people who are going to get most affected in this educational pandemic is going to be our community. And so now, the fact that we know that, now it's up to us to say, what are we going to do about it? And I just think in the short term, when we do see a kid or a child that looks like they're getting left behind, let's be as aggressive as possible in grabbing that child and doing what we can to lift them up, man. But let's just keep talking, communicating.
Absolutely. Nah, I really enjoyed tonight's show. Me and Ta-Tanisha, we Winston, all of us, what I'm saying? This is a family. Everybody that came on, that joined, that's still here. We can't thank you all enough. We got a lot of interesting topics coming up. We actually have a guy that is into technology, virtual traveling, which is something totally different. I'm interested to have a conversation. Me and Ta-Tanisha interested to have a conversation with him. Another topic that we would have coming up is women in the work environment. I had somebody that actually tuned into the show, Ta-Tanisha. I didn't get a chance to tell you about it, and I'm gonna make it quick because we're gonna wrap everything up. But a lady that tuned into the show says, and I would never put her name or stuff out there, but had contacted me, and she was just like, "Yo, I'm in the workplace, the work environment, and this guy, has is making passes at me, and um I want to know, who do I speak to, or people have reported this person, but nothing has ever happened. So you two that are still up here as women, how many times have you been in a work environment and guys have made passes or touched you, or just anything, and it goes unnoticed, or nothing ever happens? How many times you've been in a work environment and you know just things have happened, but nothing's ever, no action has been taken from it?
It's happened. It's happened several times.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So we got a lot more interesting topics that are coming up, but I don't know. Me and Ta-Tanisha, we love y'all. Love that y'all came on. That y'all gave y'all input, and like you said, um, it takes a village, and we can't thank y'all enough. Was there anybody that did y'all have any last remarks? Anybody in the chat have any last remarks?
Well, I always appreciate what you do, Blue, man. Just keep doing it, brother. You know what I mean? Like,
I
just
couldn't
keep
do it
doing
without Ta-Tanisha.
all day, all day. You know what I mean? Just y'all just keep doing it, man. Because I just think there's so many quality conversations that need to be had that are happening on this platform. I think you two consistently showing up every Tuesday, I think it's important. I think it just allows so many people to voice things and us to voice things and really have conversations. And y'all just keep doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just keep doing it. Facts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big shout out. I want to make big shout out to Angela. She's responsible for all these nice flyers that we get for every show. Shout out to Angela.
Why do people get like Angela ain't in the room? You know what
Right,
I mean?
exactly.
Like she ain't right there. What up, Ange?
Look, shout out to Angela. Shout out to Angela with all the flyers.
I'm gonna say something. Hold on, I'm gonna say something real quick. Angela has not missed a good hair day since the pandemic. I don't know. You know what I mean? Since the pandemic hit, I have not seen her hair not on point. This is ridiculous. Where are you? Not one day. God, hey, man. I just had to say that. I had to get that out. You know what I mean? 6 months. Bad hair day.
Hey, we can't me, Ta-Tanisha, we can't thank y'all enough. I mean, without you all, honestly, it wouldn't be no show, and you all are the guests are the headliners, and you all have did an excellent job tonight and any other night that you might have all been on, and we can't thank you enough. I'm gonna speak for me and Ta-Tanisha because I know she want to say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and speak for both of us, But nah, we can't thank y'all enough. But yeah, if y'all let's definitely continue to build. Let's continue to talk, and let's keep winning.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.
All right.